What up? What is up?
I am so excited, Spence.
Bro.
Oh, good, you're up here. I was going to try and invite you, BJ.
Bro.
What up?
Jay Brett, too. I'm so glad you're doing this call, dude.
J Brett, what up?
Not too much. Been a crazy last few days.
Oh my god, it's been such a good weekend for me with all this news. Whew.
Well, I was talking about stuff I've been on this weekend. Like, I was supposed to have Zipley come out and install my new internet so I could get rid of com shit.
Yeah.
Or com crap is really the colloquial joke about them, but anyway, I'm dropping them to go to Zipley because if instead of paying $140 a month for gig down and 40 meg up, I can get gig down, gig up for $60. So it's like I can cut my bill in half and like massively improve my speed, which is going to be critical for me going forward with my business. And what Comcast offers is just not good enough in terms of upload speed. So buy Comcast.
Jim Cramer would probably tell you that's a bad investment.
Of course he probably does. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
You just got to do the opposite of what he says.
Oh man.
Pretty much.
Guys, I'm go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Jinx.
I'm drinking a Coke. Awesome.
Okay.
I mean, that's not like that's out normal for me in these calls, but yeah.
You don't sound like it. We're friends right now. Wine.
I am not doing anything this weekend. I'm not drinking or smoking or nothing because I want to be so prepared for next week, mentally, visually alert, because this shit that I found and Swing and Flip and us have been working on this weekend,
Yeah.
and then the news that just dropped 4 hours ago, it's not just like Zero Hedge, it's Seeking Alpha, and everybody's saying banks are starting to restock gold at a faster rate than they've seen in years.
Really?
Which we just talked about, and I posted this week that I think gold was going to go over $2,500 an ounce because I don't trust a single word on inflation coming out of the current administration, non-political, whatever. The economy is not what they say it is right now. I think
Yep.
we're going to have hyperinflation. I think gold's going to freaking skyrocket. And then, you guys have seen all the DD on the white box advisors selling out of HYMC 7 days before AMC announced their investment. It's pretty insane that they sold 91% of their position. And also on that, the white box advisors who sold their position in HYMC, their 10% stake, they are short AMC theaters. White Box and Citadel also shorted Cineworld together. I think Adam Aaron, AMC, and his friends at Mudrick identified who's going in and naked shorting these companies and killing them from the inside out. It's just insane that we found all that out, and then Highcroft in their SEC filing on their Class A common stock prospectus supplement. Now, let me go to the highlighted areas, which I actually posted on Twitter. I can just go to that. They actually identified specifically a short squeeze scenario, which is why they're doing the stock offering. It's freaking insane. I think Adam Aaron knows they can squeeze the shorts out through HYMC because they're not held down with as much regulations being a smaller company and just a recent current SPAC. So I wanted to open this call for everybody to come up and talk about it. And if you have any more to put in on the information with that, I'll do a quick rundown. One, AMC invested into Highcroft Mining. We all know that. That was on March 15th where it was announced. 7 days before that, White Box Advisors, a fund, sold 91% of their stock, over 9 million some shares, 7.8 million shares total is what they sold out. They opened their position right after HYMC got massively shorted in 2021, directly after it got massively shorted. So that's pretty sus too. That sounds like some smart hedging on the fact that they got long shares cheaper after a big short down push. So they got in, then all of a sudden after they got in, after the big short push, you can see it, it's one big red line, one big short push, they bought in long, they own 10%, and the stock went down ever since then, down to almost 29 cents a share. Now, it started recovering a little bit when I think news of them looking for investors got out, which in turn they found AMC and Eric Sprott, who already had 160 million into the deal. Now enter Eric Sprott. If you look at the video I posted on my Twitter page, 2 years ago, he did an interview specifically talking about predatory shorting, front running, algorithms, and all the crap that we are fighting. The man literally called the market out years ago, and the video is called SaveCanadianMining.com. It's on YouTube. You should all watch it. So now you have Eric Sprott. I'll have to go through. Sweet, good, yeah, that's perfect. So now Eric Sprott, who's all about fighting for free and fair markets, who he immediately and very blatantly called out retail and said, on the same token, I want things to be more fair for retail. This was 2 years ago. So he's for retail. He's one of the best gold, precious metals investors in the world. He buys a 22% stake in Hycroft Mines. AMC joins him in that stake on the back of Mudrick Capital, who helped AMC get financing during their problems during the pandemic. So now you have three entities that all have a connection to each other after you take out White Box Advisors for shorting the company, and Citadel, who actually has a smaller long position than all of us combined in this room. But I think they're helping short the company. They got caught. That's why White Box Advisors ran away as soon as they could. They're going to get busted in their short position for over-shorting the company. And I say they're over-shorting because of the recent filing that HYMC submitted to the SEC, which was the prospectus for the new share offering, which everybody's, oh, this is dilution, this is dilution. It's not dilution like you think it is. And I'll read a couple transcripts from it that I got. Investors will experience immediate and substantial dilution in the book value per share of the common stock you purchase, but the shares sold in this offering, if any, will be sold from time to time at various prices. However, we expect that the offering price of our common stock will be substantially higher than the net tangible book value per share of our outstanding common stock at the time of the sale. So basically they're saying they have the shares to sell. It doesn't mean they are, so they won't hit the free float. But when they do, they expect the price of the stock to be higher than where we're currently sitting. So that's pretty bullish for them to put out. In the second part of that, they actually call out short squeeze specifically. A short squeeze due to a sudden increase in demand for shares or common stock. Basically, they're giving you the definition of what happens in a short squeeze. Investors may purchase shares of our common stock to hedge against exposure or to speculate on the price of our common stock. Number of shares of our common stock available for purchase on the open market. Investors with short exposure may have to pay a premium to repurchase shares of our common stock for delivery to lenders of our common stock. Those repurchases may in turn dramatically increase the price of shares of our common stock until additional shares of our common stock are available for trading or borrowing. This is referred to as a short squeeze. They filed an SEC document saying there might be a freaking short squeeze on their stock. And if you look at the FTDs for this company through the past, they're freaking insane. They're still on the threshold list. So not only that, then we get the news today about banks restocking gold at a higher rate than they've seen in years. after we talked last week about the price of gold getting ready to go over $2,500 an ounce, because the Fed is completely unable to do anything about this runaway inflation. It's absolutely freaking wild, you guys. Not financial advice. I think this is it. This is the there. This is the 4D chess. This is why Ryan Cohen bought into Blood Bath and Beyond. He's doing the same thing. That's why Adam Aaron and Ryan Cohen went silent for a while. There hasn't been any news about GME and AMC work together because they were doing this on the sidelines. It all connects in a terrible, horrible, magical, convenient way. And I'm so freaking, if you can't tell, I'm beyond excited. Okay, I'm going to take a breath.
That was kind of the theory I was running on a while ago about Adam Aaron and Cohen and the potential that they had probably had some conversations. And they probably said, hey, we know both of these companies are short. What do we go do about this? Of course, that's speculation, right? I have no idea if they talked or, what they would have talked about. But I imagine that, I believe, if I recall from what was said last year, that they were, that Adam Aaron had said he was going to reach out to GameStop. So maybe that was the result, is all I was thinking.
Yeah, and these articles, it's not just like Seeking Alpha. There's NXT Mine, Biz Talk. There's a billion articles. Oh, wow. My video made Google.
The reason why banks are restocking, or at least what I believe part of the reason is, all the recent shady crap that's been going on with the LME.
Yep.
So there's that. But I'm sure that there's probably other reasons as well, and one of those is most likely that everybody sees an economic downturn coming because of the situation everything is in, and now they're making a mad dash to get that asset that's going to.
It's a sign of hyperinflation. Jay, can you do a quick explanation of what happened with the nickel squeeze in the LME? If you can, if not, just real simple.
Yeah, essentially, there was a Chinese company, particularly a billionaire, who ran a nickel mining company, and he had a sizable short position in the LME, something to the tune of like $2.5 billion, and the price of nickel suddenly skyrocketed, essentially 250%. I believe that it was an attempt at partly it was a short squeeze. Well, his obligation went up to like $8 billion, and he wasn't going to be able to afford to pay it. Now, there's been some talk back and forth on whether or not he had a contract to deliver for the nickel that he had mined, and he had locked in his price, because the way the commodities market works, as I've been learning, is that that's a common practice in commodities for a producer to short a particular asset, because they actually will have physical delivery on those goods. So what they're doing is they're locking in their price, right? So if you say, I'm going to deliver 10 tons of nickel by the end of March, for example, right? And you know that you're going to have 10 tons that you're going to be able to ship, and you see the price of nickel, it's up pretty high, and you think it might come down, or you want to make sure that you lock in a price in case it does come down. So what they do is they'll short it, and they'll have that contract, and so they sell the contract without actually having the goods yet, and I think it's something like 80% of the contract is typically paid up front, with the remaining 20 paid on delivery to the exchange. When you mine up the materials, So they sell the contract. Uh-oh.
That was me. Sorry, go ahead.
When they sell sell those goods and go to deliver them to the the bank essentially, or the broker, the trader who made the deal with them. They do an inspection, they load it, and then at that point the responsibility is handed off to the trader, right? They don't own the contracts anymore to close the position. But the things that were going around being talked about, that that may have been what was going on, but the reality was he did not have that to produce, as far as I understand. He didn't have it to produce. It was just a short position, and there was nothing to back it. And then he got them, because the LME is now owned by a Chinese company. He worked with JP Morgan, who was the primary counterparty to this trade, to essentially have a deal to pay over time. But in the process, it broke the markets because it skyrocketed up. He couldn't cover it, so they had to forcibly close it so that he wouldn't get, completely run out of business. So that's the best I understand that situation.
Yeah, they basically shut the market down because the billionaires were losing. So I'm going to play this clip of Eric Sprott in his interview real quick so you guys can hear just the main part where he's challenging like short sellers and stuff.
Before you do that, though, I wanted to point out that Sprott, the way he talks in that video, sounds very similar to the way that Adam Aaron taught a year prior in 2019 about the exact same problem that was going on with HYMC.
Yep.
Understood as an investor, easy for predators to create chaos in a stock, and all of a sudden people are looking at it and they're just selling because it's going down. And when you have when there's no uptick rule, people can just keep selling down at will. Now, having evolved more into the junior mining space recently, which I'm in, I get to witness these things, and I don't have 100% proof that odd things are happening, but I can guarantee you, when you see a stock going down 15% in a matter of minutes, that is not someone who's selling who's trying to get the best price. That's someone who's selling who's trying to create the worst price. And so Terry Lynch has begun this Save Mining campaign. I relate to it very, very quickly. I would prefer to see the uptick rule reinstated. I might even go so far as to say, as an investor in junior mines, I've actually probably gained by the uptick rule being gone because people are undervaluing the stocks. But by the same token, I want the retail investor to have a fair shot at things. And between the predatory short sellers, the front runners, the algos, like it's becoming a game that's very, very difficult for the average investor to win. And we got to get the average investor back in the game.
Right.
Very difficult for the average investor to win. And we got to get the average investor back in the game.
Right.
All right, so that was basically the hot point that I wanted to share with you guys. I highly suggest going and watching that
Very
entire
difficult.
video. It's amazing. I I think Sprott coming in to invest in HYMC with AMC, I think the big thing is that AMC has the clout and the attention of the market right now, which is why they invited them into the game. They said, we need your spotlight to blow this thing out of the freaking water. I really think they're about to squeeze some shorts out of HYMC and blow a lot of things up. Because if this squeezes on gold, you better believe it's going to affect every other short position in the market. So I'm beyond excited to hear, hopefully this week during the HYMC earnings call, some pretty jaw-dropping news and or just good news about them, you know, not even to mention that they just announced they found in the Porter region of their mining area, which is 71,000 acres, higher grade gold up to 9.3 grams per ton and a 33.55 grams a ton per silver. They have more silver than any other mine in America. Now, there's other videos on YouTube I watch specifically saying we truly believe silver is about to squeeze off like crazy. In the Zero Hedge article, where they talk about the bank stocking gold, they actually say we believe that certain entities are about to let gold take a serious run. So my theory on this, and it's blowing up. I can't believe my YouTube video actually made a Google search. They want this to squeeze. The market wants this to happen. We're just in on it early. So what's up, Hedge?
Hey, buddy. Listen, just before you continue on, hey, how's everybody doing? Sorry. When you were saying that gold that you were just announcing, that how deep is it? How deep is that gold that they're coming up with those results?
3 to 9 meter intervals. So it's open pit. It's within open pit regions.
Nice.
Near surface.
Nice. Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
I'm guessing they knew about it and just kept it hush hush until it was beneficial.
Oh, wow, bro. That's awesome. Okay, continue. Sorry. I just wanted to know how deep they were digging to get those results, but that's awesome news.
I think max it was 27 feet. So that's nothing, man. That's open
Bro,
pit
that's
for sure. And they
in
say
the park, man. 27 feet or meters?
that's like my stepdad can dig a pond 27 feet deep with his excavator. So
listen, I didn't dug, I hammered out pretty much 27 feet of rock. It took me 7 days to do it, but I got it down there.
yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. I love it.
So imagine this. They say in a bunch of articles I've read, 1.5 grams of gold per ton is actually anything past that is considered high grade. And they found 9.3 grams with an immense silver deposit. So I'm guessing they found this beautiful quartz vein going through there. And they say they have their geotherms are that they're like hot spring type area. So the deposits are piling up or have been for thousands of years. So on that, I don't know, man. This is the most bullish weekend I've ever had in my life. And I'm just going to say, out of all the squeeze plays that I've seen and heard, this sounds the most squeeziest to me that I've seen. I just am blown away. I really believe, and remember, you don't have to report your short position. So who knows by the wording in the SEC filing that HYMC submitted, who knows how many shares they've shorted this company to get it down from $16. They were at like $13 a share. And they shorted
it was like 10 to 13. Like I think the high was 13, but it was like if you look back to when they had first listed in the charts, it's like 10ish. But still, right. 10 down to 1, that's a 90%
10 down to
drop.
29 cents.
Ooh, yeah, that's even. I was just going down with the $1 mark on that because that's still a 90% gain at that point. But if you're down to 28 cents, that's like what, 98%?
And you know what they say about FTDs, right? High FTDs are a sign of naked shorting, a prelim, a precursor to naked shorting. They are on the threshold list right now. To get a stock down from $10 to 29 cents and to keep piling in with synthetics through that to 29 cent range to see it go back up to $2 without any explanation, like no warning, man, are they freaking screwed, dude. They
Yeah,
are so
they're
screwed.
fucked, and fuck it. Hey, I mean, they put themselves in that.
Say that again, Jen. They're so what?
They're so fucked.
Yeah, they are.
Let's fucking gold, baby.
That's fucking
Sitting on a
gold.
gold mine. Come on, guys. Let's get
Jen's
I
excited.
love it.
extra
I
pumped
love it.
because the
I
hubby
love
took out a position at $1.30, which was a great entry, Jen. By the way, you need to tell your husband to DM us when he's doing stuff like that.
Sounds good, Spence.
I want in on the good entry point. Jeez.
I think this week I'm just gonna post nothing but like gold member memes.
Smoking a pancake.
I love gold.
Yes.
Let me
I had
just
an unfortunate smelting accident.
I love gold.
And Blue's gonna sell position tomorrow.
love
So
gold.
damn, that son of a bitch, poor guy. When we buy them, he's such. He is so shorted on. Blue's gonna sell position tomorrow. So
Oh no. Sorry, Hedge. My computer ran away on me there. Go ahead.
no, just Blue's selling he's selling half his position or something tomorrow.
Oh,
everybody's
Blue
gonna,
Ice.
everybody's gonna be at the door to fucking buy them all.
Blue Ice. And,
I mean, I'm gonna laugh.
I don't
I'll
even
laugh.
remember his name. Lou. Yeah.
Blue ice.
Blue cheese.
Blue
That's
cheese.
what's-
Yeah, that's it.
Blue cheese.
I've heard Hedge call that for blue cheese.
I don't know. I see their stuff. I'm just like. So here's my thoughts on all that. When Rico trades, Roaring Rico actually did a video about this where he said share dilution might be the answer. And I think this is what was happening with HYMC. I think this is why they're doing the share offering, because these companies are in so deep naked shorting. The hedges are so deep naked shorting these companies, they don't have any shares to buy to cover their naked shorts. I think to cover your naked short, they're going to have to buy legitimate shares. To do that, there has to be enough in the market. It sounds crazy and it sounds like, yes, dilution and blah, blah, blah. But the more I see this HYMC thing happening and that Adam Aaron is behind it, and that Adam Aaron was wanting to do a share offering, and in that Rico pointed out that every time we had a big run on AMC was directly after an offering. I'm not fully in support of it, but at the same time, I'm starting to see that maybe, and I was under the assumption if they naked shorted a stock, they could just cover it, right? But how do you cover a naked short and put it through the exchange without getting busted for naked shorting?
Spence, I want to tell you that what you just said right now and the way you explained it made it all so clear. I'm definitely, I am for an offering because you're 100% right. How can they cover if the stock isn't there to cover with?
Well, look at Sears and Blockbuster in that run that they had, even though they're inactive stocks. Do you remember that?
I don't.
It was a while ago, and everybody was like, why the hell is
I remember it.
Blockbuster running? And I'm assuming somehow they finally found, or maybe there's some type of something that came out and showed they issued more shares. But how do you cover a naked short through the market without getting busted for covering a naked short without buying a real share? I think they naked short these companies to death because they know they can't get caught, and they just hold their positions open for years. They sell off, they cover, and take profit on the float that's available, and then the rest of the naked shorts just stay in the system.
Yep, and they'll never get caught because it's all within the law. It's all within the rules.
Well, they're the market maker. They hold the data. They hold the keys. I mean, how do you even catch them?
This is wild. This is like bigger and more wild than I could have ever imagined it to go down even a week ago.
Ryan Cohen and Adam Aaron cornered the predatory naked shorts with Eric Sprott in the plays they're in currently, and that's why White Box Advisors ran away from HYMC as fast as they possibly could on March 8th. They found out that AMC and Eric Sprott were coming in to expose them. They naked shorted HYMC down to 29 cents, and there's no way to get out of what they did. So now they're doing a share offering going, I'll tell you what, we'll let you out. Here's all the shares you need to buy to cover your naked shorts. Go ahead. The stock will squeeze. They'll try to get out of their play. And HYMC will make a shit ton of money off of it, especially considering that the price of gold is getting ready to skyrocket. Who shorts gold? Who shorts precious metals?
Well, I mean, it sounds like it's actually not an uncommon thing based on what Sprott was saying, though, because he said it happens all the time in the Canadian markets, in the TMX.
The predatory shorting of the companies, that's
the greedy hedge fucks, Spence.
Yes,
they know they can blow these mines out, the company out, and then go in and take over the assets. Dude, this is all fucked. It's just I am having trouble processing all this, and I was up till 2 p.m.
Yeah, I love this. My smooth brain is just blown away by all this, Spence. I mean, and you've helped tremendously in putting it all the information and stuff together. And I applaud you. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Spence, you're killing it, bro.
Spence. This was great, man.
Flip and Swing have been absolutely priceless in this DD.
Flip and Swing, yeah.
I've just been digging, bro, and I keep every time you post something, I'm finding something. It's just been, and then what's exciting me is like I keep seeing these whispers. I know they're just rumors, but I keep seeing in the comment sections of Weeble and Stock Twits of people saying they're a local up there in Northern Nevada and they may have found more than they're letting on. So I mean, I just can't wait for this earnings call we're gonna be doing on Tuesday.
Oh
morning,
man, I'm so jacked.
Tuesday morning, is that correct?
Yes. I'm not sure the time. They haven't announced it yet. But Tara actually has a call scheduled that we've shared. I'll pin it to the top of my profile. And just understand that it'll be to be determined throughout the week. So if we find out, I'm sure Monday they'll probably actually file something for their earnings call, but it's expected between the 21st and the 23rd is what all the websites are saying. It probably will be the 22nd. They seem to drop news on the 22nd normally.
Well, I will right now. I will pin that scheduled space to the top of this call, and regardless, if we need to change the time, I'm sure Tara will do that. But as long as you set your reminder, you're good.
Oh man. Okay.
Guys, I'm posting this YouTube video of a YouTuber. I forget his name, and I already sent it to you. But if you haven't got a chance to watch this video, he breaks down some pretty interesting, just things about the deal with AMC.
Yes, I definitely suggest you watch this video. I watched it last night or maybe this morning, and was very impressed also.
Hey guys, I just pinned to this call our scheduled space for the HYMC earnings call.
It's always more bullish for me too when I hear like a YouTuber that's neutral, that's not an AMC dominated YouTube channel talking about this kind of stuff in a positive regard.
When a non-AMC shill presents information, it's differential.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just my computer, but if you guys could Google, hold on, let me try this again. Let me see if it pops up how I did it again. I don't know. I Googled something earlier and my YouTube video actually made the Google search. I feel so cool. But yeah, so I'm looking at the chart and nothing I say is financial advice, but we have a really hard bottom between $1.30 and $1.33. It nailed that bottom and just went straight sideways, which is really impressive. Now the resistance levels I'm looking at, I got one at $1.72. I got one at $1.88, and then obviously the big spike up to $2.96. At $2.97, you can see a straight red bar. It was either an insider, somebody big selling, or it was an immense amount of short pressure piled in all at once. They're suppressing the stock. I fully believe this thing should have squeezed off on Monday. I actually did a YouTube video on it saying I've got a time box set up for this day, stating that I think it's going to break out at this point, and it sure as hell did right at the end of the market. And then in the morning, it ran up to $1.72, and then all of a sudden, just boom! I don't think it's selling pressure. I think it was shorted again, back down to $1.33.
Well, when they put out the dilution information, then obviously it emboldened the shorts.
Right, and that's the bad thing, is the dilution information is not actually that bad.
Exactly.
But the media spun it like, you guys are going to be diluted 1 billion shares and go to zero and blah. And the media, the MSM, attacked it so blatantly because MSNBC, Fox Business, CNBC, all of them know, because they're paid by Citadel and these guys, that they're doing a naked short and distort playbook. They're all
Just
in on it.
just look at the Jim Cramer interview of the chair. I mean, it's so obvious.
They're all in on it, dude. That's why the only information that you can get has to be from articles, and I'm not saying they're bad, from like Zero Hedge or Seeking Alpha, and they're who knows who they're paid by too. But the main MSM guys on the news are losing their shit over this. So I'm just like, I'm beyond excited. Let me step back and regroup and let you guys talk for a while so I don't forget anything before we get out of the call.
I just think the Eric Sprott DD that got brought forth, the video you shared, I mean, that got me so much more jacked. I was already jacked. I already went pretty heavy on my position, but the fact that he's an active against short selling is it's just like,
yeah, it's very it's all coming together here, and you're right about that, Flip.
that was like the missing piece for me. Once I saw that, I was like, okay,
Yeah, it sort of all makes sense now, huh?
Well, Swing and I were having differential back and forth about who didn't vote on authorizing the new shares. And at first, we kind of thought maybe Sprott was the one coming in to do the death spiral lending. I was like, I got to research this guy and find out what's going on. Well, he's got every investment that they do through his company posted on their website. They have over 60 investments in mines and companies they do, totaling $1 billion. And from what I read, they already have 140 million into HYMC. Then seeing the video where he's actively trying to work against predatory short selling to save Canadian mines, I was like, okay. Every puzzle piece came together all at once. I said, Adam Aaron knows, he knows, HYMC knows. They know they have a bunch of naked shorts piled up in the company, and they're going to push them out. They're doing the share dilution so the shorts can actually buy the shares back to cover and bounce.
Do you think that is also the way it was for AMC back in early January when they were trading around $2? I can't remember how the share offering went at the money.
Yeah, I think they did the share offering so that shorts could cover and get out because they're so heavily naked shorted on AMC that, the 22% short interest at 100% utilization is just what they can report without breaking the internet. They can't come in and say that the company is 300% shorted. They never will admit that. So who knows? And we've done DD. I mean, until we're blue in the whiten the eyes on 2 billion to 5 billion shares of AMC out there. But how do they cover the naked shorts without shares available? How do they even start? So
Yeah,
there's
that's
some
an
DD if
interesting
anybody wants to
idea.
look. How do you cover a naked short?
Yeah, I've never heard of that argument, but it makes a lot of sense to me now.
And I'm not saying it's right or nothing, but man, everything that came together this weekend, dude, I'm like a little shaky. Like I'm so excited and confident in what I'm doing on this that I'm actually a little shaky.
Kind of like it's too good to be true.
Kind of like it sounded too good to be true until I started digging and just putting all the puzzle pieces together. You know what I mean? Like it's, I mean, this white box advisors hedge fund, when I seen them in there, I saw them sell, and I said, why would they sell right before AMC came in? And I'm like, well, let's see if they're short AMC, and sure freaking enough, they are. So they're short AMC, and they were also short Cineworld with Citadel. So I
It
think
makes
that's
you
it.
wonder how many other plays that are out there right now that are in the overall that are being targeted by these companies like this.
I think this is all about to blow up like nobody's business. They needed the right microphone, the right mouthpiece to blow this thing up. And I think Highcroft Mines is the one to do it. I really do.
And you know what? I just want to say that it's so. Remember, even 2 weeks ago when I was like, Adam Aaron doesn't want to out his friends, like this, he doesn't have to. And he can play hardball as much as he wants. No one will get caught. They will force everyone to cover. We'll make a lot of money, and hopefully they'll never do it again. This is so wild, you guys.
Well, and the thing is if he was just doing this just for us to hedge against inflation or whatever, is it a gold investment? He could easily just, like I say, buy gold bars like Palantir, invest in an established gold company. The fact that he's doing this with Eric Sprott, who's got this reputation of fighting the shorts, it makes a lot more sense.
Absolutely. Why invest
Well,
in a mine?
it's a double-edged sword, man, because like you said, in fighting against inflation, fighting against like abusive short selling, it hits both fronts.
Just on a side note, I went and watched Godfather last night at the theater. It was absolutely awesome. The theater was actually about a quarter full, which was surprising. There was a lot of really like hardcore Godfather fans there. It was really
Did you
fun.
go yourself, Spence, or did you bring like doctor stuff or?
No, I didn't have her this weekend, so I went by myself so I could enjoy it.
That's good. I'm glad you had a nice time. So
Talking in my ear. The girl at Chili's, the bartender, wanted to go, but she didn't get off in time. So,
ooh,
oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Don't tell Tara; she'll be jealous.
Whatever. I don't care. I'm single. I'm single and about to be a millionaire, dude.
We're all gonna be so fucking rich, guys. Come on.
Tara's gonna be too busy with all her attendees to worry about me.
I was a millionaire for a little while, and then all the markets went haywire.
Yeah, if there was one lesson I learned this year is to change your investment strategy immediately after a presidential election, because based on the economic policies of the administration, you're going to see oil go up and gold go up, or you're going to see it go down and stocks go up. So that's my next presidential election. I'll be ready.
Jay Brett, what's your prediction this week? I mean, do you think we see an overall green bullish market, or do you think with the war talk and everything, it's going to turn down the other way?
It's kind of hard to say at this point because they kind of just I don't know. It's still hard to say because we just had the rate hike, and the markets kind of bounced back because they had priced in that 25 basis point move. But the question is, what's going on with inflation, and will the Fed be able to afford to run another round of hikes? because I think they've a lot of the markets have said there's going to be 7 hikes this year or something like that, and Powell said that there would be a number of hikes, and they've kind of got this goal of what they want to get to, but if things turn sour real quick, they'll have to reverse direction, and the moment they reverse direction, the whole thing will go sideways or fall off the cliff. So because I don't think that most of the markets have priced in a reversal from that 25 basis point move. So if we see some disappointing numbers in reference to like jobs and growth in the economy in the next like jobs report and participation rates and stuff like that, I very well could see it having a negative impact on the markets. So I don't know. I would imagine probably see some more like consolidation this week. Maybe it just depends on what happens with some of these things that are going on. Like we have to keep our eyes on Ukraine, but we also need to keep our eyes on inflation. And if inflation isn't cooling, we could see some significant more downside
On Ukraine.
Hey, on the oil stuff, I can tell you right now. So everybody's thinking that the oil field's blowing and gone because oil's high. They're actually not. The rig count, they're not adding any rigs. They're not. They're not manning up like they would in the last like 2008, 2009. Everybody's sitting idle. They're waiting to see what's going on.
Yep.
On
So
Ukraine, there's no new jobs getting created.
On Ukraine, real quick.
But it's not just oil, right? We're talking about across the entire economy.
I feel you. I'm just saying oil is a good base to go off of for everything, because think about what oil provides for everything overall.
Yeah. And I mean, you can't turn on production overnight, but tapping into the reserves has some impact.
What
and
reserves?
I think the reserves that the federal government has.
No, there's like no reserves left, man.
Did they already drain them?
They're at the I think they're at the lowest they've been in a long time.
Well, that would be very bad if we got involved in a war.
Well, and here's the thing with that. Right now, the Ukraine situation, Putin's already done as a world leader. If he doesn't win and write his own history, he's a complete outcast. They'll look at him
he'll
for
get
war
Epstein
crimes
by his own country.
So here's what I think is about to happen, and unfortunately, it's not good news. Belarus is obviously not necessarily a friend of Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to side with Russia and kick up on the invasion, because it's not looking like they're coming to any solid terms.
Even
talks.
Even the narrative getting put out about the other countries right now, and how Putin wants them to stay neutral now too, and he's saying if they do what Ukraine was trying to do, he's going to come after them too.
Yep.
It's a building snowball. That's all it is.
So I have a feeling we're going to see hyperinflation. The markets are going to take a serious downturn. We're going to have increased massive supply chain issues. And that's why you saw that post about the World Bank saying don't hoard food. Now you're seeing that banks are stocking gold as fast as they can, more than in past years. I mean, I'm not trying to make anybody panic. I mean, you guys, we have more food and stuff than any other time in history right now. I mean, we're spoiled rotten.
What Spence is trying to say is get a shovel, get a wheelbarrow, start digging in your backyard as deep as you can get by yourself. If you have to have your kids help, have them help.
Buy a Starlink satellite, rice and beans.
Get at least 12 inches of concrete above for the roof. Layer it on top with probably 1-inch steel.
That's right. Good old bomb shelter. But I think this is why the gold play, there's some people talking about gold squeezing out, that they're ready to let it run. The Fed rate hike, okay, we come out, they talked about rate hikes, they raised the rates, and then the market went up for a week after they raised rates. What? Complete opposite reaction. That means that was priced in. But I don't think we're seeing the necessary economic improvements to generate any progress off of those rate hikes. We're still not producing like we should be. That's the true value of our economy, is what we
No,
produce.
no, and look at them putting their foot in their mouth too, coming out with the new narrative of the a new COVID strain and all this stuff. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying it's all playing into it all.
What's up, Sugar?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Jack.
Good.
Spence, what do you know about the share dilution on HYMC?
Okay, so did you not hear us talking about that earlier?
No, I was not.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed that, man.
So the share dilution, they've actually put out a filing. Let me bring it back up. They filed with the SEC on it.
You're getting shorted, Spence.
Yeah, hold on. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
You're sound
Yeah.
fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get back to my page. So they did a share offering of Class A common stock, right?
Okay.
Almost immediately after what we saw with the AMC filing. So they filed something with the SEC, which was a prospectus on that share offering. And they said in this, the shares sold in this offering, if any, will be sold from time to time at various prices. However, we expect that the offering price of our common stock will be substantially higher than the net tangible book value per share of our outstanding common stock at the time of the sale. So what they're saying is they've authorized the new shares, which was what was it, 1.4 billion flip? I think that's what it
Yeah, it
was.
said 1.4 billion. But originally it was the $500 million value. So that was
Right. So they issued that. That is now authorized. That doesn't mean
authorized,
it's
not diluted, right?
yes, that doesn't mean
Correct.
it's going to hit the free float.
Okay.
So what they're doing is the theory is they're authorizing these shares because the short sellers who have been naked shorting this company, the predatory shorts, can't cover those shorts without shares available to cover to buy. So what the theory is they authorize all these shares to cover all these naked shorts that the short sellers are stuck in the company with.
Right. And then if they can't cover, right, then the stock won't squeeze.
How do you cover a naked short unless you buy a real share?
Yeah.
So this isn't a dilution like you would think, like a company who's struggling just to like raise money. And also in that, every time AMC did a share offering, they had a price spike. So it's not like what the MSM is saying. It's not like, oh, they just authorized 1.4 billion shares and they all hit the float all at once. The shares will be bought and sold from time to time, but not all at the same time. And on that too, in that filing, Shug, they specifically identified in writing the potential of a short squeeze.
Yeah.
Investors
I
may
posted that to the top of the call, that tweet you put out, Spence.
Yeah, it's, Sugar, you should click that and you should read those highlighted areas and it'll explain it all to you, brother.
Okay. Thank you so much, Spence. I appreciate it, brother.
Oh man.
Okay, can I say something for a quick second?
Yeah, go ahead, Hedge. What's up?
Okay, that call that I got for next Saturday, for the trip giveaway, I managed to talk to the guy, and he's going to give 2 trips to this music event in Mexico. Everything's covered: hotel, flight, and you get the 3-day pass to the event itself. There's like 75,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, like they got major. I got the website. I got a YouTube. I posted all in that. I just added it like an hour ago. But yeah, that's. I'm excited now because I managed to get him to give up 2 trips.
That's amazing,
fully
dude.
covered. Everything's paid. Flight, hotel, 5-star hotel. You got it all.
Shit.
So, but the tickets, each package is for only a single. So you're gonna have 2 singles. He's gonna give away. So just try to make it out next Saturday because he's gonna give it away to the people in the call.
That
So your chances of whatever, 1,000, 1,500 people, your chances are a lot better than playing the lottery.
yeah, yeah.
So
You pin that to this call?
yeah,
or...
I got it pinned on my thing, on my
Okay.
profile.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so keep that in your mind.
That's
so
awesome. Yeah, I will
great, that's awesome. I'm happy.
I probably won't win, but why not?
You,
Try.
you never know, Jen.
No, why not?
You never know, but it's an event. He was telling me, just the cheapest DJ that you can get, $200,000 for 90 minutes.
Jeez.
I think he got the $500,000. Like he got a few of them. Like he's spending over like $1.5 million, $2 million just on these well-known DJs, like super well-known.
Is Chris there?
It's going to be a great event. So Cancun, June 24th is the event. So
Jen's just packing her bags. Her husband's like, "Where are you going? I'm going to Cancun."
I'm out of here. I forgot to tell you, I went on a trip.
Bye, family.
So just keep that in mind, everybody.
Hey, everybody in here, you guys should definitely follow Hedge and the One. They run a really great ape radio space. If you haven't already seen it or follow them, definitely check it out.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
It's much
ape radio too.
It's much less stressful than MySpace's.
I see you down there, One. What's up, One?
What's he doing hiding down there? Get up here.
You guys don't have to come up. I mean, if you don't want to, I get it. Like
man.
I calls passively like listening, so it's all good.
Here's the other amazing news. I went and got my donuts this morning, right? Donuts and coffee, and they had $5 off coupons to 2022 Chocolate and Coffee Fest in Albuquerque. So that's what I will be doing on April 2nd, is going and just eating chocolate and drinking coffee all day. It's going to be amazing.
Okay. It sounds like a fun thing to do. Okay.
We heard the one snoring this morning on the call.
What? Oh no.
The one was snoring on the call, and it was recorded too.
That's embarrassing.
He snores loud. I don't know how his wife handles him.
I wish Mark would come in and stay in. I want to hear his opinion on this.
I just saw the crow. Where did he go?
Yeah, the crow boss. Man,
yeah, he looks like he left.
You know how he is. He's, crow flies.
Always in and out of calls. Yep, always in and out of calls. That's for sure.
I'd like to hear his opinion on this recent article about banks hyper stocking gold. I really think we're going to see hyperinflation. I think it's run away. I think they fucked up. By they, I mean the Fed and the administration. I mean, when they continuously get their estimates wrong, every single report, there's a problem. So it's going to be interesting. That's all I had for HYMC today, just to make a marker point in the YouTube video. And thanks everybody on YouTube who came in and watched. We had quite a few viewers. If you guys haven't, if you want all this, what we just talked about in a more organized format and with some slides and some graphics, please go to my YouTube, like, subscribe. It's all on there. I'll be making more videos for this along the way. I don't talk about AMC as much because there's not really much left to talk about besides what they're doing with this gold mine. I mean, we all see the AMC day to day. The move Batman is absolutely crushing it. So everybody was cheering for Top Gun previews again. They were screaming their heads off.
Hey, Spence, are they up? Is that right? 1.2 billion so far in Batman?
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
No, Batman's at 600 million. And then Uncharted's at 322 million as I looked up this morning worldwide. So Uncharted's not doing quite as good as I was hoping. I put the target of 500 mil out. I have so far been wrong, but it's getting closer a lot faster than I thought. So if it still runs for another few weeks in the theaters, it might actually hit my number. Otherwise, I overestimated.
Well, that's a movie where people weren't sure what it was because it's more of a gaming movie.
Right,
And
but
as
it's got
people-
Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg in it. Everybody loves both of them right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do you not go watch that movie?
Yeah.
More people are talking about it as it goes. And Kanto had not a very good opening weekend, and then trended like crazy after people realized what it was, and they saw it on
They need a re-release Encanto.
good because they saw it on Disney Plus, and everybody was going, "Oh man, I missed it in theater. Shoot, I should have went." But you still had to wear a mask at that point in time. I saw it in theater. I ain't
Why
scared.
isn't anybody talking about that movie Morbius? Is it Morbius?
Oh, what? We're all excited about Morbius. I've
Oh,
already
yeah.
pre-ordered my tickets. I've already pre-ordered my food. Like, Morbius is gonna smash it because he was one of the best, like, he was one of the best characters in the Spider-Man universe. Because he wasn't good, but he wasn't bad. He kind of had that same sort of, like, a lot of Spider-Man's villains, like, they start out as being perfectly normal people and then they just get overly ambitious or something. But Morbius, he tends to walk more that middle line than the others do. They fall way over and then they become supervillains, but he's one of those that kind of does good and bad. And it's he's a lot closer to like Venom, for example.
So you know how you introduce Blade?
Morbius.
Morbius.
Yep.
I can't wait for they tease so much at Venom. I can't wait for the next one.
And they even have like Spider-Man paintings on the wall while he's walking through the city, so you know it's all going to tie together.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Even after watching Spider-Man, I can't wait.
Isn't there another Spider-Man scheduled for next year, like the beginning of the year or something?
Well, Into the Spider-Verse is going to come out, which that's going to absolutely smash at the box office, like in a way people don't expect.
That one's going to be live action this time, right?
I think it's still animated, but there's some theory that when they go through the Spider-Verse, they're going to introduce the live action damn it, what's his name? Miles Morales.
Okay.
Because you see different
that's what I
scenes.
thought they were going to do.
You see different scenes where they go to the different dimensions and it looks like an old black and white cartoon, and then it's all like digital and weird. So the theory is they'll have a live action part where they actually introduce Miles Morales, and I'm hoping it's when Miles Morales Spider-Man falls into the dimension that Peter Parker is in, but it's Tobey Maguire who bumps into him. That would be absolutely insane.
Well, what would also be great is if they use Morbius to introduce another Blade movie and they cast Wesley Snipes as Blade again, because that's the only way you can do that.
I think they've actually already cast
That
it.
would be sick. Yeah, Idris Elba is the new Blade.
But
are you
Idris
serious?
Elba's also amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an equal move on my part, honestly, because Idris Elba is such a great actor.
I didn't know he's one of my favorite actors. I did not know he was going to play the new Blade. I thought it was somebody else.
Nope, it's him. He's been cast to play the new Blade.
Well, I know what I'm seeing.
Blade MCU reboot.
We got let's see, Morbius April 1st, and then the month after we're gonna have the Doctor Strange movie. It's gonna be a new superhero movie like literally every month this year.
That's exciting. I like that. Yeah. Flip, you need to get updated on that.
I can't wait for the Fantastic Beasts with Dumbledore.
You know what you should do, Spence? I got an idea.
I think the new Blade is actually Mahershala Ali.
You should create a pool. And for example, you have all the list of movies that are being played in the theaters this year, right? So make a pool where you got to pick the three biggest earners, and whoever gets the most would win the pool. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like some,
if you guys want to go up
Avatar
against
too.
my prediction track record, be my guest. The shorts weren't very successful on it. That's all I'm saying.
I think Avatar is going to take everything.
Agreed.
I think you're going to hit $1 billion probably in 2 weeks with Avatar.
I'll take that bet, and I don't disagree with that. But just to be the guy on the other side, I think Multiverse of Madness is going to open decent, and then it's going to explode when people see what's actually happening in the movie with all the Fox characters, the MCU characters, and the Sony characters all in one movie. I think it is going to blow up.
And
I don't know.
I am so excited for Multiverse of Madness because if the rumors about Reynolds,
They're true.
Deadpool being in the movie, I know. No, they haven't come out and said it yet though, have they?
Yeah, they have.
Like
they put him in the
when
casting.
did they announce that?
And
When
he's
did
actually
that
in one
happen?
of the. It's been out for like a month now. He's actually there's a little picture of him in one of the shards of glass in one of the posters too.
See, that's what I remember seeing that, and people were like, "Oh, I don't know," and that was like just a few weeks ago. People were still debating the validity of that because it's just so hard to see in the poster. But I don't know. The next time I go back to the theaters, I'll look at the movie poster very closely and see, because it's really hard to tell online if that's the case or not. And people have done, blow ups of it, but it looks all pixelated and it's hard to tell. And I thought I had heard Reynolds' voice in one of the previews at the movies of that, right? Like I thought that in Batman or whatever one it was, that you could hear his voice with Patrick Stewart's voice.
They posted it. I should have screenshotted it, but about a month ago, IMDb posted Ryan Reynolds was in the cast for Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, that's awesome.
And not even that. They say that in one of the preview scenes, you actually see Blade walking into the chairs of the Illuminati.
Oh, man.
He has a coat with a big thing sticking up behind his back like it's his sword. But the real big thing, what's going to really capture cross generations on this, is that you have
Professor X.
Well, Professor X and the new characters like America Chavez, who a lot of people don't even know about. She's a younger, newer generation MCU character. So it's just going to absolutely blow up. And if they do any kind of NFT thing with it and whatnot, man, this is just going to pop. So,
well, here's my thing. If they give enough screen time, but not too much screen time to Deadpool, and they properly place Deadpool entries, he will absolutely cause the theaters to erupt in laughter. And so, I think if they do it just right, they can let him get away with him being Deadpool being Deadpool and not compromising on the character at all. And, Ryan Reynolds will deliver that character. We've seen it before with him in his first Deadpool movie.
His face.
Do you guys remember?
He's a pretty good-looking dude.
When Deadpool
I'm sorry,
came
but
out,
I'd be gay for him.
Yeah.
They didn't want to make Deadpool the movie.
That's going to be a good one.
Well, Ryan Reynolds is the one who pushed that first Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
And, he helped get the funding for it. And I think, wasn't he the director or the producer?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman funded it for him.
Those two have to be some great friends, though, because if you look at the banter between the two of them back and forth all the time, they have to be best of friends.
Well,
honestly.
It's about like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I mean, they go back and forth like that too, and they're married.
Blake Lively is fine as a motherfucker.
Yeah, Spence, I actually just looked that up. You're right. It is Mahershala Ali. I thought, though, that Idris Elba was cast as something because there was issue with him being in the DC universe already, too. But,
he is in a new DC movie.
There was somebody who was in a new DC movie. And I think wasn't Elba in? He was in the Suicide Squad, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That was which was a DCEU movie. And I think he had to break his contract with Marvel to do that movie or something like that. There was something weird related to him playing Heimdall in the MCU, and what they needed him for in the MCU versus
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Versus him being over in the DCEU to go do Bloodsport. I thought there was one other person. I also got into watching Peacemaker recently and noticed that Vigilante is just a cheap ripoff knockoff of Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
Or I've heard the other way around. I've heard that Marvel stole that from DC. But if you watch Peacemaker, like the guy who plays Vigilante, he's funny, he's pretty good, but he's like 10% maybe of Deadpool in awesomeness.
Hey guys, not to get back to market talk, but I just noticed they said that the MOEX, the Russian stock market's supposed to open tomorrow.
Yep.
Wonder how that's gonna go.
I also just saw that it's possible that Ukraine and Russia can make an agreement tonight. So I'm thinking, right? So all this good news comes out, it's a green week, and then it's going to be a rug pull. It's got to be. They have to make us so comfortable to think that the downtrend is over when it really didn't even start yet.
Exactly. That's my thoughts.
We are getting shorted like crazy.
Yeah.
We also
holy cow.
Well, we also haven't seen new lows yet, right? So, or not new low, higher lows yet. We saw a like higher recent high, but we haven't seen any like lows to confirm it. So let me go look at SPX real quick.
Well, like I said, the Fed raised rates, right? And then the market went up in a positive note because it was already priced in. I think it's just nothing but a dirty, filthy bull trap. And
yep.
AMC and HYMC, I'm so happy with the bottoms that we just hit, so I'm not worried about it, but I don't think it's good for the rest of the market.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at the futures market or if you look at the SPX, they both basically have the same movement. So there's ES1 exclamation mark if you're looking at like TradingView, which is the E-mini futures for the S&P 500. It tracks the S&P 500 the same as the SPX. And so like it closed the week out at 44.55. But if you go back and you're looking at the daily chart, the recent low was like the most recent lowest low was established on March 8th. And like that's where it kind of bottomed out and turned back up where we saw it go. But it's only managed to surpass the high from March 3rd. So we haven't really established a new higher low yet that's lower than those lows from about March 8th to March 15th. So what's going to be important is there's a couple of things. One, we're up on the 200-day moving average, right? The 200-day moving average is at 44.64. We closed just below that at 44.55. But also, if you are a fan of the Ichimoku cloud like I am, it's right underneath the bottom end of the Ichimoku cloud, which means that it would have more resistance going up through that. So like, even though it's popped above the 50-day moving average, it's still below the 100, it's still below the Ichimoku cloud, and it's still below the 200-day moving average, which are all very like slower, longer trend kind of things that are a little bit more difficult to break through in terms of resistance. So, you know, I think what we're going to need to see is a pullback off of that run that started back on the 15th. Once we see that correct, if we don't see it, you know, if we see it correct and it stops below it before it gets below like the 41.50 range, then yeah, we could see some more upside. But I think what we've seen is we saw lows from the first low off of the all-time high came around, you know, 24 of January through about like 28 of January, where it established the lows, popped back up a little bit for a correction, then came back down. And then from like the 23rd and the 24th established another like new low. We popped back up again towards those highs from March 3rd. And then we dropped back down to March 8th and 9th, where we established new lows. So we've still continued lower highs and lower lows until this last week's move, which means that this next week is going to be critical in determining whether or not this thing is going to continue back up and we have a continuation of a bull run, or if this thing just is a bull trap and it, falls off and dies in a fiery ball of death.
Well then, okay.
Mariupol.
Hey, Shug, you got your hand up? What's up?
Mariupol.
Okay, I just want to say a few things, if you guys would let me. People listening in this call. So
you have the floor.
So we all are here to make money, but we don't know where the future is gonna happen, what the economy is gonna do, what will happen. Nobody knows. So before you invest your money in anything more than you need to, please take care of your families first. Look out for your families, pay your bills, do what's best for your family and everyone. And if you have some money left after that, if you feel like investing, then do it. I mean, listen to anybody you want to, go in space calls and, YouTube, whoever you want to. But your family comes first. And, God forbid something goes, north or south, nobody's going to pay your bills. And, your kids and family, only you can look. When a lot of people were saying, oh, squeeze more as right off the bat, and here we are. I mean, it can take as much as time.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming. If you could, please like, subscribe, share the video. We're kind of getting into just chit chat and chatter. I don't like to stream the channel that long on just banter back and forth, but you got the bulk of the information. Thank you for coming. Everybody have a good Sunday night, and we'll see you tomorrow.